This piece, Blast, was commissioned from the Seattle Symphony for Jerry Schwartz's last season as music director of Seattle. I was very happy to be asked, but of course, many of us who were so strongly connected to the Seattle Symphony were all part of this crew of something like 18 American composers who were asked to write short pieces for his final season. I knew what kind of piece this needed to be, and I knew I wanted it to be loud, and I knew it wanted to be fun. So that's how it came to be Blast.
It's loud, aggressive, fun. There's one little section of soft music in the middle, but basically it's just one huge gesture that goes from beginning to end.
Sometimes titles are very difficult to find, but this one was easy. Once I knew the character of the piece, that I wanted it to be really, just let it all hang out, Blast, just don't forget the exclamation point. It's got to be blast, not just blast. It's only 4 minutes long and a few leftover seconds, but it packs, I think, a lot of sound into those 4 minutes. As I said, it's quite loud. The percussion whacks away and the brass, but it's supposed to be that kind of piece.
The timpani has a very prominent role. Interesting, when you think about the timpani was an instrument that played basically two notes in Mozart's time and Haydn's time. They usually played, or this note, just back and forth, whatever happened to be the key of the piece. As time progressed, especially in Beethoven with the Ninth Symphony, when we get to the scherzo, bum-ba-dum, the timpani actually becomes a melodic instrument. So by the time we get to the end of the 19th century, the timpani is playing all the pitches, lots of drums, not just 2 drums, but 3 drums, 4 drums, 5 drums, tuned in different ways. And the timpani actually has pedals, so they can actually tune quite quickly. In David's piece, the timpani is a prominent role, and even the very second bar, he's going. I mean, he's long from this, long way away. And while he's doing that, the violins are playing. So all this around these 2 pitches, back and forth, back and forth. The brass are playing aggressive chords. And this pattern between the timpani playing, whether it's or, it's always that kind of odd interval. It's never a very, very, what we would call consonant, but always very aggressively dissonant interval. Then he uses rhythmic motive that leads to this almost jazzy section at the trumpet start. They have harmon mutes in, which is a kind of mute that gives a sound, I guess maybe Miles Davis, the great jazz trumpet player, made famous. What he does with the strings, well, and the winds as well, everything's very angular. So the timpani, as we know, is playing in an angular way, and very often the strings are just playing short, aggressive notes that just makes us startled. Again, the timpani leads with this melody. So it's like, and then the trombone picks up the melody from the timpani. Then we get to really what becomes in some ways the first kind of melody, and it's the horns being answered by the violas and the cellos. About 2/3 of the way through, we finally have a little relaxation. I think it's important. Sometimes if you have a piece that's so aggressive and so loud, to have even a short moment of reflection is good. And David does that. He does it with a duet between the bassoon, oboe, eventually clarinet and flute. So just the woodwinds for a little while, not long though. And he brings that jazz figure back, and then he gets aggressive with the timpani like the beginning. That really sets up the whole end, and boom, another short, magnificent work, and it's over.